everybody, what is up? My name is AsterKatt, and welcome back to Zero Escape 999. I have my voice back! Woohoo! For the most part. Sometimes if I go really high, it'll still go away. But that's okay, because I can speak a little bit better today than I could in the last episode, so that's good. I'm excited, ow, I punched my hand, and nervous, for a lot of reasons, but we're just gonna go ahead and go in. Oh, actually, while I'm in here, go ahead and let me know if you want me to adjust any of these settings. I feel like the background music to voice vote ratio is a little bit off, but that might just be because I don't like my music being super loud in comparison to the voices, so let me know if you would like me to maybe adjust that a little, because I don't know if that's just a me thing. C-deck hallway, sure, yeah, that's probably where we are. Junpei, Clover, and Lotus leapt out of the laboratory, slamming the door shut behind them.
Whew, thank God we got out of there.
Yeah, finally.
Oh,
yeah.
All three collapsed against the wall, breathing heavily. Oh, another thing. I believe it's Akane or June's birthday, so I thought that was really cool. Happy birthday, June. Hope nothing bad happens. Junpei's heart was pounding in his chest, and his whole body felt weak. He inhaled gulps of clear air, and with each one, he could feel his body beginning to calm down.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
They nodded to each other and started off down the hallway. Where are we going? Before long, they found a few new doors, but all of them were locked.
Damn, none of these open. They're all locked.
Damn.
How about that one?
The final door sat in a corner of the hallway. What? Your guys' footsteps pacing is really strange.
Let's hope this is the door with the prize.
Junpei grabbed the door handle and was about to pull it open when, what does that mean? A voice cried out behind him. It was neither Clover nor Lotus, but he recognized it. There was no doubt the voice belonged to...
Junpei!
June?
Huh?
I was hoping it was Snake. He spun around. There at the other end of the hall, Junpei saw human figures running toward him. 3 of them? Yes, there should be 3 of them. Okay.
June? Santa! 7!
Okay, yeah, that is the group it's supposed to be. They stopped short in front of Junpei and his companions, gasping for air. Happy birthday!
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
What are you...
But we didn't...
Can I have C-deck? I want C-deck. Oh, I guess this is... We only have a map of B-deck. Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys, could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found.
Hey, on the wall.
Is it another map?
The ship's interior?
Okay. Hang on, my phone is buzzing. Wabashki. There was one thing. I haven't gotten back to all the comments that I usually try to skim through. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place today. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't, like, missing anything. I will respond to the comments. I'll get back to them soon.
It says C-deck.
Awesome!
So it's the map for this floor then?
Door 7. And...
Door 8, lead.
Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
Interesting. So does door... No! Door 3 doesn't, does it? In fact.
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. That's how the nonary game works.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. This leads to...
As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness.
Oh.
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
Yeah.
As the lead right back... As one, they all moved back toward the door Junpei had only a moment ago been ready to open.
Almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall and put it in his pocket and followed the others. Can we look at it? No, not yet. Can I look at it now? Oh, I can. Okay, operating room, laboratory, large hospital room, shower room. Okay. Central staircase, storage. So this is here. So this is door 8. This is door 7? No, because door 8 went all the way around through here, so we're back here. So then does this door lead right back? Is that The 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other 5.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
They nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
I knew it! I love him. They were just where the map had said they would be.
We're back.
Yay! Let's
In the hospital
go!
room.
Snake?
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. The 6 of you split into 2 teams
Ace?
and went through doors 7 and 8.
You're fine!
You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
He looked like anyone might after only just waking up, but it seemed his brain was working as well as ever. He had managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism.
Don't!
I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Oh, thank God! Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
7 smiled.
Anyway, I say we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said?
Oh!
I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room.
We didn't go into the operating room. That was the other group. We were in the laboratory. Okay, cool.
Here.
7 tossed something small and metallic towards Junpei. We found the, Oh, frick, which key did we find? We found a key.
Nice catch.
Jeez.
The Earth key? He caught it and found that the object was a key.
I see.
Crazy.
So this is Jupiter.
On it, someone had engraved a symbol very similar to a 4. He looked over at June, who nodded back. It had to be the Jupiter symbol.
I'm gonna let you hold on to that, alright?
Yeah, on it.
Junpei tucked the new key into his pocket.
So how many unused keys do we have now?
There's the Earth key we found in the laboratory, the Saturn key card we found in the kitchen, and the Jupiter key you just gave me.
Okay, so 3. Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs...
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the
But
big
there's
hospital.
probably a key.
There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at 7 as hard as she could, just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. 7 looked everywhere in the room except at Clover and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
How old? I know we know Junpei's 21 now, and don't comment if this is a spoiler, but I am curious how old everybody is.
Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Clover nodded once. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again.
So that's 4 + 1 is 5. So if we went, that would be 5. So we need to take Santa if we... No. We'd need to take Snake if we wanted to go, which does not work.
So 7, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh? Me?
Jupiter did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 + 7 + 1... Or 4 + 1 + 7 = 12. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Look, 7 was doing them too. At last, he gave up.
Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So I'm going with you, huh?
So it's like the OG group
Yes,
minus
you are.
Snake.
Alright, let's get moving.
And so it was to say that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3.
Okay, we're heading out.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head.
What
I'd
is...
be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it.
What's the strange
The
beef
rest
with
of us
them?
Can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
I like that she's been thinking about that. 7 nodded as if this answer made much more sense and pulled the lever on the red. Good luck, good luck, good luck.
Okay, we're off.
Go! The door opened and Ace, Clover, and Seven jumped through it. 6, 7, 8. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
All right, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Get moving.
Where are we going?
Everyone except Lotus seemed rather
Well, it
confused.
would be a waste of time to just sit around.
I do agree. Yeah, we should go explore, and it's not like we can't come back.
Let me explain.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
They were at the end of the hallway, lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
All right, Junpei, open it if you please.
Yeah, on it.
Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. Hey, it's ROG4! He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a breath, held it, and opened the door as quietly as he could. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. So far, the map's been holding up. Also, every time a door opens, I keep thinking it's just going to be a ding-dong, bing-bong. I haven't played Danganronpa in years, but that's what I expect every time. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
It feels so low-key nostalgic already.
What do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we?
But there was
I'm
the
asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
elevators?
Of course there's a reason. Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky.
Huh?
This.
Junpei pulled 2 things out of his pockets.
The Saturn key card. And the Earth key? I'm lost.
Santa cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird and looked at them. After several long moments, during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him.
Don't you remember, Santa? On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember? And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 keys that Junpei has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Yes, that's right.
June smiled, pleased with herself. So did Santa.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then.
I like that he didn't take offense to her, like a lot of characters when they think they're like that, like what? I don't know. When they are like, think that they're the super smart, like whenever somebody corrects them, it's like oh, well, da-da-da-da-da-da. But he was just like, oh, okay.
What do you say we split into 2 teams? Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided their initial search should
We
be
have
brief.
no idea what's on the other side of these. So don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
Plan decided the 2 teams split up. Split up. Junpei and June headed for the
There's a
elevators.
card reader next to the left elevator.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
What is this music? A light on the upper left corner blinked to life.
Great! It looks like it's working now.
All right, now how do I call the elevator?
There was a single button to the right of the elevator door.
Oh, it only has the upside down triangle on it.
I guess there's no up button. Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down. No.
It opened.
No.
Look, Junpei.
June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tinge of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened! Let's get going.
No! He grinned at June and stepped toward the open door. As he was about to set foot in it, he felt a hand on his arm.
Wait.
What?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? Being locked up alone with the boy. They could only go down, yeah. She was afraid because the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on the A or B deck near the central staircase, all of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to lower decks.
Come to think of it, the lower floor. D-deck is completely underwater.
Yeah.
An elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary.
Uh-huh.
Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise, like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside.
Junpei jerked his head toward the interior of the elevator.
It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Okay, compelling argument, but if the door was shut and it had enough, like, sealants that the water couldn't get in and it was shut and it just moved up, then, like, what if it was shut down there and then it moved up and then it's there and then we go down and it opens and we die?
Oh, you're right. They are.
She looked around the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Tested.
Yeah, watch this. Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons. Oh, there's only two, E and C. All right, I'll push E.
He pushed the E button and jumped out of the elevator. Smart! The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down. Okay, see, I like this plan.
I think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
A few moments later, the elevator returned. Okay.
Yep, not a single drop of water to be seen. See?
Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest just a little bit. June, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean? How can E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E-deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured.
Okay.
Here, let me show you.
He pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I
Okay.
see. So is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back into his
So I'm
pocket.
gonna go down and check it out.
Okay,
You
wait.
stay here, all right?
So, like, I was gonna say we should leave a note for Santa and not Santa, for Clover, Ace, and Seven. But I was like, oh, but no, like finding stuff might take too long and da 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 da. You had a notebook.
But
Come on, just do it, all right?
He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze and hopped onto the elevator. I do like that he didn't just brush her concerns off. Like, he was like, here, wait, like, I'll show you. He pushed the E button and the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she was trying to make a decision when suddenly...
I'm coming with you.
Oh my gosh,
Huh?
yep. At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors.
Hey, wait!
Junpei jammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late.
Oh, crap, it closed!
The door had shut and he and June were in the elevator and it was headed down to E-deck. He was so surprised by June that he didn't even have time to think about what awaited him on the
I
E-deck.
can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez.
He's so cute. Jeez. Okay. The elevator stopped and the door slid open. He tentatively stepped out and looked around.
It looks normal.
No fish going about their fishy business, or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish, or at least something that looked very much like one. I had no idea where that was going! June's cheeks were puffed out and her mouth a tiny, intense frown.
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded. Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
June looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
Junpei thought about that for a moment.
We'd probably die.
Yeah.
Oh no. Don't be so casual about something like that.
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Now then.
Junpei glanced around at the room they'd found themselves in. The first thing he noticed was a set of thick iron bars. They ran the length of the room, separating the left elevator from the right
Iron
one.
bars. Well, we can't go over there.
Right.
Then maybe...
In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Junpei found an
Well-
opening. He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner.
It looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
6. If the two of us were to go, we're 5 and 6, which is 11. We need 15. So we need Clover.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait, is that...
Let's check.
Is it active? Junpei and June set off down the hallway at a brisk clip, somewhere between a run and a jog. A brisk clip? I've never heard that before. Before long, they found themselves in front of the door. On it was a number written in bright red paint. 6.
I knew it!
This is a numbered door.
And indeed, there was a red bolted to the wall next to the door.
But we can't do anything with only the two of us.
We better head back and let everyone know.
Yes.
Junpei and June turned and headed back to C deck.
Wait, what's this?
On their way back, Junpei noticed a map on the wall.
Is this the map for E-Deck?
Maps! I love getting maps!
I should take it with me.
Good. Okay.
Huh, so you guys found door 1.
Door 1? Oh, well, I guess 11. No, 10. 10 makes 1. Or... Nope, literally just 10. Ooh, okay, okay. Map. Oh. Okay. Wow, this place is huge! Chapel. They met back up with Santa and Lotus, who explained what they'd found. Apparently, there was another numbered door in A deck, just like the one on E deck, beyond the door that the Earth key opened. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the door.
So now we've located 2 new doors. The 6 door and the 1 door.
You know, it is interesting that E-Deck wasn't flooded.
Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought.
Well, we don't really know if all of E-Deck is safe. We only checked the area around the elevator.
Even so, it's still very interesting.
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Yes.
Then that means Zero planned all this out. Even the sinking. That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
A
It
lot.
would have been a ton, that's for sure.
Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Was that an Ace impression?
Yes, it does make sense.
That thought made them all go quiet for a moment. I love the voice ... dots. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared off into the distance at nothing.
Yeah?
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
June looked up at Junpei with large pleading
Yeah,
eyes.
you're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei and I should be able to open door 1.
Huh? You guys leaving me behind?
No? Oh, yes! 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, that also works.
Just kidding. All right, let's go.
Lotus's words were all the impetus they needed. Back to the large hospital room they went. I hate when there's an animation, it scares me! The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room.
Hey! Where the hell did you guys go?
Sorry, was 7.
7?
Ace was right behind him, and Clover was behind Ace, although she seemed to be hanging back.
What's wrong?
It looked as though there was something strange about them. 7 had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost, Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. For a long moment, they simply stood there looking at one another. Curious. Okay. I'm assuming this is going to be door 8, so this would be door 3. I don't want to think about the flowchart too much, but I was kind of curious if like all of them would lead to here. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at 7.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
7 was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him hard. His shoulders were trembling and his voice was strained.
Snake is...
7 couldn't finish. Just looked away, his face twisted by Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is dead.
No, he's not.
He died, just as the 9th man did.
What? No, I don't like the music. I do not like the music. Clover! It was as if all the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beating on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All three were frozen in place, their faces white.
Oh my god, that's not true, is it?
We should make sure.
Yeah, right. We should.
They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door.
Wait! Not that way!
What? What?
They stopped short and turned to look at 7. He was pointing at the door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Where is he?
The shower room. The left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
That seems like a stupid idea. Let's not. We don't have to see it. Their new destination clear, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Once in the hallway, it's easy to spot the metal door on the left wall.
This wasn't open when we passed here before.
But now, just as 7 had said, there was a broom stuck between the door and the frame, keeping it open.
Well, let's keep going.
They looked at it for a moment and stepped inside.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Lotus wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. Hideous smell filled the air so thick they could almost taste it. It was sour and smelled of fish, feces, and burnt meat. He worked his way through Junpei's nose and down his throat to pound against the entrance to his stomach. He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was in his stomach where it belonged.
Where is he? Where's Snake?
They didn't have to wonder where the body was.
There.
There was blood everywhere. A few arms of the splatter reaching toward them as they walked through the door. All one had to do was follow the many radial arms to their source. The body itself was hidden behind a divider.
June, you should stay here.
But
Please, just do me a favor, okay? Alright?
He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole, turned and walked toward the end of the divider.
I'm going in.
It felt like it took him in. It felt like it took him. I can't read. It felt like it took an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually, they reached the divider. They looked at one another and nodded slowly. Junpei put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner. For a moment, he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew in that instant he would take the image before him to the grave. Oh, I'm fine. This is just horrible. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out like fresh spaghetti. Why do we need these comparisons? Smaller chunks of meat splattered against the wall and became stuck there as they dried. Globules? The yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them toward the wall even as they dried to it.
Just like Ace said.
Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down small bit of his own.
Just like the 9th man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful.
Oh
The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had been split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
Oh, the face. It's horrible.
Yeah, I can't even tell who it is.
Half his head was simply collapsed. The blood coating had almost made it look like— Stop! Stop! Stop it, Junpei! I don't need these comparisons! I really don't! The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes too were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
It's not Snake. It's not Snake. It can't be. They were all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
It's not! Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei heard it catch in her throat. A squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the ninth man was.
Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven looked at each of them in turn and continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it. Alone. And waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead.
This is horrible. I don't wanna believe that. It's a stupid hope, but okay. Not to play the blame game, but who could have possibly made 3? It would have had to be 13. No, it would have had to be 12. So we need 10, which obviously it wasn't Junpei. So it could have been June and Clover, which it wasn't. Could have been Lotus. I don't think it was anybody. I'm just trying to 6, 4, 7. Wait, no, not 8 and 7. Lotus and Santa? No, it couldn't have been Lotus. It would have had to have been 7 and Santa. Can't be the 9th man. He doesn't exist. Couldn't be Lotus, because it could be a Santa and June, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I guess it could be other combinations too. No, it couldn't. It would have to be, I don't know.
Snake was the only one who went through the door, and then 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah, that means we're looking at multiple perps here.
He crossed his arms and grunted.
Just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
Then that means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
Yeah, that means anybody could be a killer.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
June seemed shocked.
How can you say that so casually? You're implying that one of us is a killer.
Well, I'm not not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers.
Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know?
What Zero wants?
Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and loser. Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner, and those who don't are the losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Then does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes. Almost certainly Zero himself. If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero.
That I agree with. I don't know. I don't think we can completely erase the possibility, and I don't know if we can be friends. But we have, or trust each other, but we have to work together at least. I wanted a blanket. I put all of mine in the washing machine. So I can't even have that. It's fine, I stole one from my sister. I wasn't expecting this development. I mean, like, I knew people were probably gonna die eventually, but not like this and not... I barely got to interact with Snake.
He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
Good question.
Junpei hadn't really considered
If
that.
Zero killed Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
Junpei. I don't know. He wasn't sure.
Something's still strange.
What was that?
Well, I'm just wondering about one thing.
And what's that?
How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
Ace's eyebrows shot up.
Really, Junpei? I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp.
I'm sorry, I just...
Isn't it obvious?
Wait, it is?
This ship.
Huh?
Zero said, "this ship," several times when he addressed us.
That is a good point.
If he weren't here, he wouldn't say "this ship," would he?
But it could be a
He'd
trick.
be saying something like "that ship" or "the ship."
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Ace's explanation made perfect sense. Junpei felt a little foolish that he hadn't seen it himself. Still, he was left with the question. It was one of no small
If
importance.
Zero's on the ship, where is he?
Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting moaning noise, and moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was cold and monotone.
I think Zero is one of us.
Yeah, I realized that's where we were going. Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was muffled blah, blah, blah. I can't speak. Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Eyes darted from face to face. One of those faces was the face of their jailer. But who? It's possible, but we have to work together.
That's crazy. Isn't the ship going to sink in a few hours? If Zero was here with us, he'd be putting himself in danger. Why the hell would he do something like that? There's no motive.
Clover looked up at Junpei and her face fell.
You don't believe me.
Her eyes were so pitiful. The moment Junpei met them, he felt his heart tighten. He didn't think what he said was wrong, but perhaps the way he'd said it had been. He'd been too insensitive. Clover had just lost her brother. Yeah! His death would have been bad enough, but she'd also seen the blasted wreck of his body. Junpei barely knew him, and the sight of him had been enough to make him sick. What Clover had felt, he couldn't begin to imagine. The mental state she must have been in, and it was understandable she would look at those around her with suspicion. She felt everyone was against her. The least Junpei could have done was try to understand what she was feeling. Felt ashamed of what he'd said. Perhaps he thought I should apologize. Before that apology could
Clover,
begin.
Clover, I understand what you're feeling. You don't feel that you can trust any of us.
Ace had beaten Junpei to the punch. As he spoke to Clover, his face was calm and
But you
friendly.
have to understand, the more we distrust one another, the further we fall into our true foe's trap. Zero was the one who did those horrible things to your brother. Do you want to let yourself be manipulated by someone who would do such a horrible thing?
Clover didn't answer. She didn't even look at Ace. The whole time, her eyes were on Junpei. He could feel Clover's eyes boring into him. They were the color of a deep winter lake. Junpei saw no suspicion in them, only sadness. Then, in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
Oh,
That
good
means
Lord.
we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. 7. Clover, I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
I don't like how into this, like, trusting each other thing he is, but I don't want to distrust him either, and he is right. Like, even if one of us is, there's nothing we can do about it. Seven and Clover remained silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far
We
away.
must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where
Our
they were
next
going.
destination is Mercury.
But maybe you and June should check it out first and then report back to us.
All right, let's go, June.
Right.
Okay.
Here it is.
It sat bolted to a wall near the stairs that led to the casino and kitchen between the two elevators.
The Mercury card reader.
Between the casino and kitchen. Okay.
We're using the card 7 gave us, right?
Yeah,
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
I think 7 said something like that.
Wait. But isn't...
Anyway, let's see what happens.
No! Hang on.
I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Here.
Whoa. Gee. I see.
I'm gonna let
Yeah,
Okay, so that's the Jupiter key.
there's the...
Okay, so with... Okay, never mind. Okay, I was really confused for a second because I thought...
I'd be hearing that from you.
I thought that is what he had said, like, before, but it's fine. I thought he had, like,
Found it
said,
when we
yeah.
were checking out the shower room.
I think 7 said something like that. Anyway, let's see what happens.
We were checking out the shower. Checking out the shower room. That's where... That's... I might be missing something really obvious here. Because that was C deck. This is the shower room. This is the laboratory. Okay, yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, no, that's... It's fine. Everything's good. The light on the reader turned green and made a tiny electronic noise.
I guess the elevator works now.
Junpei, I know it's only the two of us, but let's do our best.
What's with you all of a sudden?
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
Even so, I'm glad I'm with you.
Snake is dead!
Oh. First, we need to find out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Just like we did before.
I feel like this is just too much whiplash.
Oh, here it is.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
Let's go.
Yes.
Once it had been checked for water, Junpei and June stepped into the elevator. I would have still tried to double check
Nearly
it.
all of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the seat and bottom button can be pushed.
We're on C deck right now, so the only one we can choose is bottom.
Yeah. Well, let's try it out.
Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly they began to move downward.
Oh, so this is the bottom deck.
They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right had ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end. But not a regular dead end.
Hey, over there.
This is a numbered door.
Yes!
This is the 8th one we found. There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase. They were doors 4 and 5. 3 more in the large hospital room, doors 3, 7, and 8.
And the door we found on E deck, and the door Lotus and Santa found on A deck. It was a 6 on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door on A deck.
That means...
Do you think the next door we find?
Yeah, I think so. The next one's gonna be door 9.
Yeah. Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well.
Finally!
Yeah,
You don't look very happy about it, though.
it's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You're right. We should keep our fingers crossed.
Let's head back.
Okay.
We still have to get through the doors. There's too many combinations. I cannot run that many math sequences in the span of recording time, so we're just gonna trust the others to figure it out. He did his best to put it from his mind and headed back to C deck with June. I'm so uneasy.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 7 pieces.
The pieces of paper they folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's legs. Everyone had written on paper pulled from Junpei's notebook in an effort to pull together a blind
Just
vote.
double checking, but everyone wrote their code name and a door number they want, right?
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Can't believe we're voting here.
Why had they decided to vote that
we
way?
need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
They decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. That would allow people to force others to go through certain doors.
Yeah, quiet in the peanut gallery.
And he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of, however, so he did his best to act calm as he began to open and read the pieces of paper.
All right, let's open these up. The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why?
No, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going.
We don't have time for that! Sorry. He opened the second
Next
one.
is Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Junpei continued with the third, fourth, and fifth pieces of paper.
Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Okay.
Wait a minute. There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
Girl!
No, there'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
I am not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
Barely.
So, last I checked, that's not a crime.
Maybe. But what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
Lotus's hair flared out like the mane of an
not
angry
good.
lion, and she roared with a voice that shook the walls. Oh, not good. I love you, Ace. Sorry, I feel bad anytime I get happy about something.
Let go of me! I'm killing him!
With some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her.
Junpei, read the rest.
Right.
Junpei tore his eyes away and looked down at the sixth piece of paper. He opened it.
June wants door 6.
Yes. I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
All of the papers saved Junpei's had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head.
So this was everyone's vote. Ace and Clover requested door 1.
This was A deck near the central staircase. Okay. Ace and Clover. Ace and Clover need Junpei.
7 and Lotus requested door 2.
8, 9, 10, 15. They also need Junpei. This was the door on the bottom deck, could be reached by taking the elevator to the bottom of the ship.
Santa and June requested door 6.
Are they also gonna need Junpei? Santa, 3. 9. Yes! Wow, they all need Junpei. This is the door on E deck and could be reached by taking the elevator near the central
The
staircase.
door I should choose is...
Took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the seventh piece of paper and spoke.
The last one is mine. I want to go through...
I mean, basic answer, but like, I want to stick with June.
I want to go through door 6.
Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. Read Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it after all.
That's a problem.
June spoke barely above whisper, but they all knew what she'd
None of
said.
these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Why not?
Clover and I chose door 1.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
The digital routes don't match up either.
We've got similar problems. Junpei and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
Oh, it's 14. Yeah, I did the math wrong.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we...
Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
Why don't Seven and Lotus go through door 1 with me?
Her face was cold and flat, as was her voice, but her logic was sound. I don't like that. When it comes down to it, if this is the final time, as much as I don't want to keep them separate, I also want to be with June. Seven and Lotus looked at each other. Yep. First problem resolved, Ace spoke up.
What about me?
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Yes.
Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours ago. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so.
I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind.
This is selfish.
This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
7, Lotus. What do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
Alright then, we're good to go.
See you later.
Wait, Clover! Don't move on your own!
I'm scared
I'll
of
be
that
going
group.
too, then.
Yeah, be careful.
We should get going as well.
At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, Seven, and Lotus headed to A deck, where door 1 was near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. The ride to E deck was a silent one.
This is E deck.
I probably should have considered door 9. Okay.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
All right, let's go.
Santa's words jolted them to action. They stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. Before long, they arrived in front of door 6.
Here it is. You guys ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's get to it.
One by one, they put their palms over the red. With a soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. The door opened. All at once, the 4 of them leapt through it.
Hey! I found it! It's right there!
Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd entered through. They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on it for authentication one by one. I'm always so scared it's just not gonna work.
It stopped.
Yes! It stopped!
The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic thunderous drum. Felt as though it might shake itself up and out on his throat.
Whew. I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to.
Mhm.
We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
Yeah.
You got that right. Once I'm out of this hellhole, I'm taking a nice long vacation.
I agree.
With that, the doom and gloom from before was done and the mood turned somewhat lighter.
Alright, let's go.
I'm worried about the other group. With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door.
This door looks heavy.
But it's not locked. I'm opening it.
He took hold of the bar that served as its doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. Okay. It was gargantuan. and made entirely of metal. None of the accents of wood or tile I'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
Santa got out a few words before awe stole the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than gasps.
This has to be the biggest room so far. The ceiling is pretty high, too.
Yeah.
Huh. Could be 2 stories. Maybe even more.
The staircases would allude to that, yeah.
This space could be utilizing the entire length of the ship.
What's that huge Kamaboko-looking building in the middle?
June pointed to the massive building in the center.
Kamaboko? Well, I guess that's as good of a description of it as any.
Yeah. Okay. Junpei and the others standing on the scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole. We're standing on the scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that didn't seem particularly important.
I see stairs, so we may as well head over to them.
Yeah, but this section's barely wide enough to fit 1 person.
You're right.
Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them.
Whoa, you can't even tell the shape when you're this close.
Let's check out the other side, too.
They moved around towards the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached the building, Ace suddenly spoke up.
This looks to be the steam engine room.
The steam engine room?
Yes, that thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. You see the 3 round doors near the bottom? Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam.
Interesting.
The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger.
I see.
It doesn't appear to be running right now.
The entire room was as silent as the grave.
All right, let's split up.
Then all of a sudden, Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse to her knees.
Hey, what's wrong? Are you all right?
Are you good? He dashed toward her, wrapped her arms around her shoulders to steady her.
Hey, June.
She's so pretty, though. So then he
Junpei.
noticed.
You... Oh, you're really warm. Is your fever coming back?
Yes. Yes. It probably is. But I'm fine. Please, don't worry about me.
Girl, what is up with
I
you?
just need to rest. And I'll be fine.
Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did.
Okay, here, sit down. Careful.
Okay. Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her up against it. She let her head fall back against the wall as if she no longer had the strength to support it and drew a ragged breath.
Thank you.
Her eyes were empty as if she was having trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist and clenched tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, and quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn.
Ace, Santa.
Yes.
Right.
They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his
All right,
concern.
let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon.
She made a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Okay. Seek a way out. Okay, steam engine room. I'd say this is probably here to move coal from place to place. It probably comes from over there. And then the belt carries it down the tunnel and out here. So if the conveyor belt was moving, yes, the coal would almost certainly come out here. Okay. The conveyor belt's not conveying anything right now. Okay. It's a square hole. It goes in the square hole. Nothing in here. Ah, look at the back wall there. I can see 3 small slots. Terminals for some sort of connector, perhaps? You mean you think we're supposed to plug something in here? Perhaps. Okay. Look at that button. It's glowing orange, right? That's gotta mean something. Guess pressing it is the best way to find out if it does anything, Santa. Nothing. Okay, square hole. There are 3 slots here. Connector terminals. Alright. Nothing happens when I press it. Small square door. Pillar goes up toward the ceiling. Oh, didn't mean to turn yet. Conveyor belt. Okay, anything else to click over here? A tunnel goes all the way across the ship. Alright. Okay, it looks like that's all I can click. Man, this thing is huge. I guess a ship this big needs something like that to power it. True, but I doubt a single boiler of this size could actually move a ship like this at any reasonable speed. You need at least 4 of these. Oh, I guess you know a lot about boats, huh? Well, not really. It's just common sense, you know? Okay, didn't mean to go in yet. It's the massive furnace for the boiler. There's a door built in near the bottom where you can put coal in. Okay. Stairs stretch from the catwalk to the boiler. Okay, okay. There are a number of little windows along the inside of this thing. I think you're supposed to put coal in through these, but they're welded shut. I don't think we can get these open. Right? Oh. I believe this opening is for fueling the furnace. If we were to put some coal in here and ignite it, then the steam engine might start working? It's certainly possible. Okay. Spot of the massive boiler. Alright. So we can go in this one. We can go in this one. We go in the last one. Yes, okay. So let's just start at the first one. A golden gear. It doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well then, I imagine it was prepared especially for this game. Huge golden gear. I have a feeling it's important. This gear's rusty, but it still looks like it's pretty sturdy. The conveyor belt runs into a sort of arched tunnel. Okay. Looks like there's a door over here in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown into this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. Won't open. Okay. Alright. Next one. Huge bronze gear. This has to be important. Small door on the side of the tunnel. It's welded shut and won't open. Okay. Cool. Then the third one was silver, right? It's a silver gear. Do you think it's made of pure silver? No way. Silver's way too soft to use for a gear. It's gotta be a steel or an iron gear that's been coated with silver. Ugh. Shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. Shouldn't have got your hopes up. Were you thinking you'd hold this thing back? Nah, but I think 7 could probably carry it, don't you? Maybe. It's funny because it's like we call that's what Junpei called Santa at the beginning. Could I click anything up there? No. Okay, and then there's just the catwalk. Okay, so I think that's everything over here. Okay, this is the other side. We did this. Oh, yeah. So we're here, looking here, and then if we turn, we're looking here now. And then if we turn again, no wait, what? Turn again, now we're over here. All right. Here's rusty, looks like it's still pretty sturdy. Huge golden gear, feeling it's important. Yeah, okay, so this is the same stuff that was on the other side? Yes, because it looks all the way through. Okay. It's a huge oven for this boiler. There are 3 open areas in it. Each of the open areas has a gear in it. Okay. Stairs to the upper floor. They're connected to the boiler. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Wait, I don't know if I want to do that yet. There's a bunch of wooden boxes over here by the wall. I already looked through those. There's nothing there. Okay. There's a barrel under the stairs. Sweet. Unfortunately, it's empty. Trying to be thorough. I don't think there's anything else. Okay, let's go. Actually, no. We'll go back first. There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Oh, okay. No, back. Pair of wooden boxes here. Look, Ace! It's some kind of snowman secret meeting! What? Those are just bags full of sand. Use them as counterweight when you're lifting something with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious. Number of cloth bags over here. There's nothing but sand in them. Alright. Anything else we can click? There was a pillar like this on the other side. Yeah, you're right. There are 2 pillars going up towards the ceiling. Alright, anything else? Here are boxes. Alright. Cool, I think that's everything. And we are back here. Alright. Oh, okay. There's a thick iron door blocking our way. You think this is... Yes. It looks like the exit. It looks like this door slides up into the ceiling. It's probably the exit, okay. What's this? Given its placement, This must unlock the door to the left. There's a weird indentation on the top of this thing. You think that means you have to insert something here? Yes, I would imagine so. Outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. That is, in fact, what it looks like. Okay. Railing. Oh, okay, the handrail. I'm glad I could click on that. Anything else over here? Alright, they're all empty. The catwalk on the upper floor. There's a staircase that reaches out from the catwalk from the boiler. Oh man, Junpei, I can't believe I missed something so important. What's so important? Look at those stairs. Look at them carefully. That gap. That height. That angle. It's perfect. Perfect? Perfect for what? Whatever. Just bring Clover here right now. What? Tell her she needs to walk up and down these stairs. Huh? Clover's not here. What the hell is he talking about? I don't really get it, but apparently these stairs are perfect for something. I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen until somebody gives me a good reason as to why he said that. Oh. These 2 columns are different from the others. The lights are red. Most of them are yellow except for 2 columns on the right. Okay. The 3 sliders on the left are down, but this one's up. There are a number of lines engraved in these. I suspect we are meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down? Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose. Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be prepared somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it'd respond somehow? Yes, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Guess Ace feels like giving it a try. Nothing. It won't move at all. Looks like Santa wants to give this one a shot. Ugh, damn it. Nothing. This thing won't budge. Let's see if I can get this thing to go anywhere. Oh, man, no dice. This thing isn't going anywhere. Ooh, cool. So the door we came through when we entered the steam engine room. Oh! Hey, Junpei, where are you going? The only thing in there is a closed numbered door. Kinda pointless to go back, huh? Yeah, it sure is. One of the doors on the furnace, there's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door. Alright, let's give that sucker a twist. Oh, okay. It's noisy, but it opens, and it's totally pitch black in there. We should, go in here. Alright. Let's go. This looks just like the door we went into. Where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we have yet to investigate. I think that's part of the ship's structure. They're like ribs that support the hull. The supports and braces the side of the ship. It's not a ladder. Got it. Okay. Back up. Back up. Okay. There's a bunch of stuff in our way. One of the doors on the furnace. There's a B on it. I didn't read what he just said, but it was something about boiling. One of the doors on the furnace. There's a C on it. Can I not look at it? Okay. There's a catwalk over there. If by catwalk you mean narrow strip of metal, Junpei, are you brave enough to cross that? If you were to fall, you do realize that broken bones would be the least of your problems. Cool. Oh? Looks like a hand-operated winch, but it doesn't look like there's any way to operate it. That means the wheel isn't attached. Okay. There's a wooden box on the end of the rope hanging from the winch. Looks like there's something in the box. Okay. I think June's resting underneath it. Can we go say hi? Damn pile of boxes blocking my way. Well, to be exact, she's really kind of to the left, not straight below it. I guess it's not really an important detail right now. Anyway, we should be directly above the corner of the conveyor belt here. The stairs back down should be on the other side of these boxes. You have an excellent memory. Use that to draw a map inside your head. That way you won't get lost. I'm trying. Oh, okay. This one just looks like the other one we saw earlier. Although this one has a wheel on it. Can we take the wheel? Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Oh, shit. Okay. It's a wheel that seems to be part of a winch. There are some pegs on the back that look like they go into the holes on the winch. Okay, cool. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. The wheel it once had is now in my hand. Let's see if I can get it back on. There's a couple posts on the back that look like they fit in the hole in the winch. Damn, no good. These little shafts are too small for this big hole. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, to be honest. What? I don't understand this man and his food. If that's the case, then that wheel wasn't originally part of this winch. Then that means it's for the other one. Aha! There's no wheel to turn. Oh yeah, I've got the wheel I pulled off in the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits. Sweet, it's a perfect fit, like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good, I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. We should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see, the wooden box. It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? Looks like there's some sort of device in the box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn that wheel now. I'm counting on you. Why were you so descriptive there? Okay, alright, we got a wheel there. Let's see if I can turn it. Alright, I'll turn the wheel. What's this? What happened? The wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left? That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah. We can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that will be a problem. We'll simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I'll be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing, no sweat.
I believe the box has reached the floor.
Yeah.
He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung below the catwalk now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor
June's
belt.
down over by there.
Junpei could see her still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from far away, it's not difficult to see she had not improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they had all been thinking.
Of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said was true.
What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps?
Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion.
Santa's response was confident and certain.
She gets dropped into some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know?
So you're saying we're abnormal?
Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
Santa snorted in disgust.
A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying?
Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility, you know?
They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking, until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him. Alright. Control panel for something. Some kind of machine, maybe a control panel? Looks like some kind of control panel. It's got 3 terminals on the back. Interesting that it has 3 terminals on the back. Yeah, for the thing? Does it go in here? Maybe this hole is where the control panel goes. There's only one way to find out. In you go. Dude, you did it! Everything looks alright! Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do that. Pushing. Sweet, all sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And oh yes, I think I just heard something turn on. Oh? What's that? What happened? Junpei, look, the conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? Well, I guess it's done moving now. There's a bunch of coal in the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off the end of the belt into that wooden box where we found the control panel. Coal. Coal, huh? It all drops off at the left end of the belt right into the wooden box. Wooden box full of coal. Guess there's really only one thing we can do with the stuff. It goes in. Or would go if all three of these things hadn't rusted shut. Was it the other side that we could put them in? How do we get to the other side? Here? There we go. There's a hole that'll let us put coal into the furnace. Maybe we can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Okay, let's do it. Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a coal furnace do anything? Well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up in there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. This furnace is enormous, so we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well then, if the three of us work together, we should manage to fill it much faster. I want to help too. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that? Yes. Yeah, right? You look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you'd better rest some more, alright? But I... No arguing. You need your rest, so you can just stay there. We'll handle this. Okay. I understand. Time for some manly work. You... idiots. Yeah, this is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. How are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device near that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? Okay. Would that be the thing up here? Oh, it's on! I think it might be. It probably is. I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. That means that if we move that thing down... Alright, let's do it. Here we go. Hey, Junpei! Ace, look at this! There's big gears turning under the boiler here. Oh! Gears. They're spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking! Okay. Gold disc. The gold disc. It has a number of lines engraved on it. I can make out 3 colors here. Red, blue, black. I wonder what they mean. Oh, there is black. Alright. Oops. What about... Alright. Bunch of lines on it, 3 different colors, red, blue, and black. I have no idea what we're gonna do with these. Silver disc has a bunch of lines on it, but the red ones really stand out, right? Red ones, huh? Junpei, the gold disc we found. Do you remember where it was when we found it? I think it was in the bottom left. Why? Oh, I was just thinking. Bottom left. Bottom right. I think it was on the top? Why? Okay. But where would we put them? Oh, here! Maybe we put those 3 discs we found into this thing. I can't believe I already forgot about that. Huh? You put them in wrong! Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places? Perhaps you have to have them facing the wrong directions. Perhaps you should rotate the disc to make some of the lines connect to one another. Well, no harm in trying. Okay, when the white arrows click, the discs are switched. Okay. There we go! That was pretty simple. Red lines on these. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these. Yay! You found it! Alright!
The door's open.
All right, and I am actually going to save right here. No. No. Here, just in case. I know this episode might be a little bit shorter just because I didn't record for quite as long, but we did a lot of dialogue in the beginning, so there won't be a lot that I cut out. So I'm gonna, it is time for another character favorites. Okay, so I wrote down my list. I don't know how accurate it is because I have like some in the middle and it's like really, it's hard right now. But number 8 is currently 7. I don't know. I feel like I haven't interacted with him that much, and recently he's just been so judgmental, dare I say, suspicious. I'm not suspicious of him. He's just been so suspicious of us, and it's throwing me off. I don't know. I have nothing against him. I'm just still like. Number 7 is Lotus. She flip-flops everywhere. I do not know how I feel about her. I like her, and then I don't like her, and then I like her, and then I don't like her, and then I love her, and then I hate her, and then I like her, and then I don't like her, and then I don't know. Yeah. Number 6, and this is where I'm like, I feel bad because I don't like anybody being low. Right now is Clover. I still love her. I really do. I feel like I haven't interacted with her that much, and right now I'm scared to interact with her, which I think is bringing her down a little bit. And I'm worried for her. But I'm also like, I'm worried I'm gonna upset her even more, so I'm like, I don't want to think about it. I'm gonna not think about it. I don't know. Number 5 is Santa. I love him, and then like I think about other characters and I'm like, I don't know, and I love him, but I don't know. I love him. I really like everyone in this game. And then number 4 is Ace, because I really do. I'm glad we're finally getting to hang out with him. I'm upset with him getting upset. Not upset with me, but he was like, wow, I'm disappointed. I took that personally. But I really do love him. Number 3 right now is Snake, even though we didn't interact with him at all. And this is where I'm like, I don't know if it's just the fact that might be dead that's affecting me, but I keep thinking about the few moments we had with him and I'm really sad about it. And that kind of made him move up. And the idea of him and what happened to him, that's so scary. But the fact that like it seems like he at least tried to do, like, oh my god, I miss him. I want him back. I'm still clinging to the thought that he isn't dead. Number 2 is June, for reasons I mean, same reasons. I like her a lot, and I am getting quite attached to her. I think she's a lot of fun, and I'm very concerned for her. And like a tad bit suspicious. But I really do like her. And number 1's Junpei. At this point, I don't really see that changing. We're, what, 4 episodes in, and each episode's been like 2 hours of recording and spending time with them. I need him to stop comparing deaths to food. That is my one request. And what was he talking about with throwing a hot dog down a hallway? Who does that? Have you tried that? Why did he say that? But yeah, so that's kind of where my thoughts are right now. It's a little all over the place. I'm a little all over the place. I don't know what to think. I wasn't expecting somebody to just die like that. I wasn't expecting it to be Snake, and I wasn't expecting Snake to be dead. And part of me is like, he's not dead, he's fine. So yeah, those are my thoughts right now. If you want to talk to me about this game or any other games I play, please feel free to join the Discord link in the description of this video or the About page on my channel. I think somebody mentioned the link being expired. I tried to fix it. It should be a new link by now. So I don't know. But please join us. Let me know if it doesn't work for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you all next time. Bye!